Okay, how y'all doing? Thank you for being present here for the next quote-unquote episode of me speaking my online posted articles for you in YouTube form. I'll just start off by making an apology for the very dark red theme of this video. I didn't plan on wearing maroon today, nor did I plan on the first open source free to use commercial picture being a red nebula. Is that what they call it? Nebula? I really liked space when I was younger. But anyways, what we're talking about today is accessing the present moment. You guys all know what accessing the present moment is. You know, that's what they all talk about. That's what all the spiritual people are. You gotta live in the moment, bro. You gotta live in the moment. It's true. There's a lot of things we could talk about. I mean, there's a lot of ways to get lost in the present moment. I mean, this isn't in the context of the article I'm presenting, but we need to remember that there's a past and a future, and we need to think about things and learn from the past and predict, into the future. But, we still need to live in the present moment it's really, to me, it's mostly a way of creating love, beauty, acceptance, and just a good inner state at all times. Dispelling anxiety, dispelling worries, because those are really thinking about the past or worrying about the future. But anyways, let's get into the article for today. So the present moment is something like a holy grail in the spiritual community. Much is talked about regarding the importance of living in the present moment in order to realize the beauty and love that surrounds us. What I'm going to talk about today is in relationship to things that I often see pushing people out of the present moment and into wanting something other than the present moment. Alright, I'm going to have to scroll it a couple times. So, what is pleasure? There's a lot of different ways we could take this, but first, there's nothing wrong with enjoying pleasure. The problems come when we seek immediate pleasure, taking precedent over a more holistic outlook. We see this most clearly in addiction, something that's running completely rampant today, especially drug addiction, but addiction in all its forms. So we can't forget that addiction, at least in my opinion, the way I define it, is something that stretches across all boundaries. It can be thoughts, actions, blah, blah, blah. It can really take almost any form of human action into account. So that's my personal view of it. I really want to take a look at today the unconscious, semi-conscious ways of interacting in the world. I personally see this the most in music, for myself. But through seeing it in music, I also see it in all my other interactions, and so we can kind of, again, create a holistic outlook for all this and help ourselves. So music is a source of great pleasure for me. However, for much of my life, listening to music was like an addiction, listening to the same song over and over again until I got sick of it. Sometimes it would be like one line, one really hard-hitting bar, a really good rhyme, a really nice melody. I could listen to a song over and over again, but just like any addiction, it would wear off. It has a high, and then eventually it really dulls out and becomes dullness. And dullness for me is a huge theme in my life, based off Gene Keys, but we won't get into that now. So, transcending addiction, right? So music is a very important part of my spiritual practice. Nearly every day I incorporate high-frequency media into my meditations, natural grounding sessions. The contemplation in the previous paragraph was reached during these sessions. Now to expand. So like I said, it was often just one line I was searching for, an addiction that would dull out. What that means is not only was I becoming more bored with that small line or whatever as the plays went on, but I was ignoring all the other beauty that could be present in the music if I weren't ignoring and trying to anticipate something that was coming. It eventually got to a Pavlovian level where before the actual stimulus was introduced, before that line was said, I would have the sensory experience. I was trying to induce that just because we're looking for immediate gratification. I was caught up in that. A lot of us are caught up in this immediate gratification thing. But I think at our core, we really know it's not the right or not the best path forward for us. So I kind of thought I was connecting to the present moment, but I'm just personally so addicted, or have been so addicted, to the thought and the interpretation and thinking as a way of growing spiritually. But now, I am moving kind of out of that. It's not that it's a bad thing, just like we call shadows. Shadows aren't bad things. They're just a different expression of something, and we want to move up in frequency. We want to get to what would be a more beneficial expression to us. And I have a lot of trouble with this too, because I'll try to tell family members, to do something or blah, blah, blah. Try to change people when really, some people don't want to change. I might think in my mind deeply that if they were to follow my advice, they would be better off. But at the end of the day, that's their truth, and so we need to respect that. But we also need to live our truth, more importantly. So anyways, my dissatisfaction really with this kind of non-connected to the present moment way of looking at media and consuming media pushed me forward to try to really analyze what was going on there. So when I finally started connecting to the present moment and just really through focus, connecting and not thinking about that Pavlovian response, I realized that not only did I start to appreciate the beauty of the present moment in any given song, but I would actually enjoy those favorite parts too. Instead of like anticipating it, I would react to it in the present moment, and it would be way more powerful, magnified times 100, times 1,000. And then when you start doing sessions, it could be a meditation, it could be whatever. When you start living life like this, it's an exponential curve, because what you were doing before was just the same up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. You're never like hitting above, because, well, actually sometimes you're going down, like I was saying with the dullness. But you really start, your interactions get exponentially better. So the truth is that the core of high frequency media stretches beyond the confines of time and space. It is archetypal, timeless truth, and that isn't like a drug when we leverage it with our own connection to the timeless truth of the present moment. It becomes a beauty that we can access at any time and for any length of time. And also, I apologize for any extraneous noises that possibly could be happening. So bringing it together. No longer do songs get boring. My dad used to say being bored is a closed mind. I think he's actually pretty spot on. He's got a lot of really good insights, that guy. Every experience is its own unique expression. For that matter, no longer are the dishes boring, taking out the trash, petting the cat, etc. It can all be an outlet for beauty. I know that there are a lot of spiritual seekers out there, and I'm one of them. Despite my years of meditation and attempts to understand, much of my searching has actually pushed me away from connecting more with this power, as I was always asking questions. That's kind of the downfall of seekers sometimes. We want to keep asking questions, being right, changing other people, but there's really something greater out there. Once you have questioned enough, questioning is always good, right? I don't even like using the word always. There's a lot of paradoxes, and I'll be honest, I'm encountering a lot of these paradoxes as I grow. And it's something we all have to grapple with. That's the most important thing. If you get too connected to a certain ideology, a certain person, a certain way of living, then your growth is going to become stagnant. And that doesn't mean we don't need teachers out there. But for me personally, it's a process of finding somebody and learning what I can from them and then moving on. Because, well, that's just me, you know. What's you, I guess, is what I would ask yourself. But there's a whole lot to talk about there. I'll save that for another video, but it's something to contemplate. You know, how are you questioning? Could you be connected more to the present moment and the beauty of now, not being so worried about what's going on in the world? Because I'm a guy who's always so concerned about what's going on in the world. Trying to find the latest statistics, trying to find the latest scientific research, trying to prove other people wrong, trying to blah, blah, blah. And we definitely need to love each other, but we need to live in our own truth, and a lot of the time doing that is not getting yourself caught up with other people. A lot of time that'll just dull your energy out. Anyways, that's pretty much the end of the article. I did add this though, and this is very important. I would suggest to become selective in the kind of media you consume. Personally, I've been caught up in a lot of Luciferian media. And that might have a lot of different meanings for you, but something like Travis Scott, very Luciferian. Very, very Luciferian. My personal truth is that what went on at his Astroworld concert was very influenced by the kind of energy that was being spread on a Luciferian level, devil worshipping kind of thing. That's just my opinion. You can have your own, but I've seen it myself. I've experienced it myself. You got to be careful, because in connecting more to the present moment, sometimes you may also end up alchemizing energy in an unintended way. I mean, say you've watched a movie like Doctor Strange. They have the good and the bad side, and both of them are working very powerfully with the magic and using it and alchemizing things. But how are you going to use it? So if you're connecting really strongly to a certain type of media, there's always some alchemical process going on there. And the more aware you become of it, the more powerful it becomes. But if you don't become aware of the frequency behind it, there can be negative consequences energetically. So just keep that in mind. This has been a pretty long video, a lot of non sequiturs, but I've really loved everything here. Had a great time looking at the space background. Could have been a little better, you know. Everything could always be a little better, but I don't think I have anything else I really want to mention here. I mean, I could go on forever. I hope things are going great for you. You know, I really do. This is an exciting time to be alive, people. This is I mean, we try to divert ourselves with video games and everything. I'm telling you, life is more than a video game. This is as real as it gets. This is as cool as it gets. And honestly, I'm trying to disconnect. Less video games, you know, less everything. You know, getting rid of all these addictions, you know, and really starting to connect on a powerful level with timeless energy and power, working within this time continuum. I don't really feel qualified to say things like that, you know, but who cares, you know? Who really cares? This is me, I guess. Okay. You have a great day, night. I'm recording this late. Okay. And in regards to future posts, I don't know. I just, you know, I used to set deadlines, and I'm just like, I'm gonna do them when I want. This is me. You know, I'm gonna do them when I want. I'll try to get out like one every week or so, but But really, there's so much other stuff I need to be focused on, blah, 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 and for everybody. So, I love you. I will see you later. God bless. Bye.